So this week, in week number 2 for class, we're addressing this whole concept of human suffering and evil and sin. We need to set the tone here for week 2 because we're introduced to a man named Job. We're going to study his life and how God interacts with the devil, Satan, Lucifer is his other name. And really to look back in our own lives and see how God has used suffering and even evil, how people maybe have mistreated us in the past, and how have we arrived on the other side of victory and know that God is still reigning, He's in control, He's providential, He's sovereign, He has my good intentions at heart, and He's always working through the narrative story behind what He's accomplishing in and through me. I need to be willing, I need to be open, I need to be listening to the Holy Spirit and His promptings in my life. That is a given, and I know that's a struggle for the human person to think in those terms. So if you're a follower of Jesus Christ, and I hope you are, that you begin to understand and grapple with these complex theological constructs. Job is introduced to us as a man who fears the Lord, walks with the Lord, and he has everything going for him. God has blessed him, multiplied his herds, multiplied his family. Things are going really well. And all of a sudden, we're led into this drama, this event where now things are stripped away and he has nothing. And we're introduced into the story and now see him sitting in ashes, and he's taking the pots from the pottery, broken pottery pieces, and he begins to scrape his skin because he's feeling the pain of the disease or the boils or the leprosy. We're uncertain exactly what he had, but this is what he feels. He sees everything destroyed, but naked into the world he came, and naked he will depart. God blesses, God takes away, but blessed be the name of the Lord. That is his cry, that is his anthem that he begins to sing out. And we are interwoven into the fabric of the story and begin to encounter the experiences of both his friends, his wife, and how people respond during difficult moments, and their reception and maybe even their personal counsel at times may need to be thought through specifically and say, well, I'm not going to answer that one, or I'm not going to listen to that report. And Job shows us that human quality for us as believers, how we should respond during difficult moments. It also leads us to another subject: how do you witness and how do you interact with non-believers who question the existence of God, who maybe are atheists or agnostic, and they look at human events of tragedy and sorrow as a God who is distant from the world and humans, and he's just up there in the sky with his little thumb pressing down on humanity and causing harm. He's behind everything. But to answer that even more theologically is to begin from the story itself in Genesis and seeing the human family sinning, and everything is in upheaval, everything is in chaos. And that really is the canonical account all the way from beginning to end. As we move forward into the epistles, we see sin dominating the storyline from the human family to kingdoms coming against other kingdoms, and the injustice that prevails even today. And so we're battling sin, and we're pleading for the Lord to respond, and He has, and He sent His Son Jesus to die, to take upon sin upon Himself, redeeming, and He's redeemed the story in many ways hermeneutically. As we leap out of the story into the epistles, we see the finality, the hope to come, Christ the victor, the King, the Redeemer, our friend. And that's where we're at for week 2. And as we move forward in the different weeks to come, you begin to see the fabrics and the thread line being woven together to help you understand the interpretation and really the backdrop of how to apply any given passage with the audience that you have selected, or the audience that you're ministering to. As we close off this video, be sure to read the required reading reports. Make sure you are going into Blackboard and clicking on the necessary lessons and making notation that you've done that assignment, because those are gimme points and you don't want to fall behind. Clarify your audience, because your audience will directly impact your theological project, your final project. Just a reminder, there is no peer review. You'll be credited that or awarded back to you that assignment. Just keep moving on and pressing forward as you finalize week 2 material and the weeks to come. Hope that helps and clarifies many questions you might have about this week and the weeks that are coming down the pipeline for you.